Yo, what's up YouTube? Before we start, you already know, smash the like button for more fire content. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. For all the newcomers, welcome to Team Eyeland. Make sure to follow Team Eyeland on all our platforms, IG, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. And let's get right into the video. Today's video, I'll be talking about tips and tricks you can use in the red zone. We're gonna explain it from the low red zone to the high red zone. So those little tips and tricks right there will make sure you're in a better position to make more plays. We're gonna talk about the help that you have and how we can use our help to help us be in a better position to make more plays. Now we're at the high red zone, 20 yards in, all right? So if we're playing corner, right, the field is smaller now, so we can slow down, be a little bit more patient, because now we wanna force the receiver to our help. So our help is most likely the sideline right here, all right? So there's not as much routes they can run. They can still run a lot of routes, but not as much. Corner 7 yards, inside leverage of the receiver. So now let's say we're playing man right now, okay? So now he's gonna really take his read steps. He's really gonna slow it down. He's not gonna try to gain too much depth in his read step, because now the shorter distance between here to the goal line, right? So now he's gonna sit here, take his read, be patient, get his eyes back to the receiver, and then weave if he needs to. He's running a fade right now, right? This jogger fade. You take your read step, down, say go, boom, eyes back to the receiver. Now he's gonna throttle down a little bit, because now, as you can see, he's getting closer to the sideline and he's running out of space as he gets towards the end zone. He's inside leverage, he's taking his read step, because now we really wanna take care of the slant, the short stuff right here. 5 yards right here, essentially is like 20 yards down the field. So we gotta really make sure we're very stingy in our coverage and make sure get close to the hip as much as possible to the receiver. So that's why he's taking his read steps. He's taking smaller read steps because there's less space here. The low red zone, right? First thing first, we're gonna adjust the alignment right here. So if he's at the 10, we're gonna meet him halfway and be at the 5.
We're gonna be halfway. So if the ball's on the 10, we're on the 5. Ball's on the 12, you're on the 6. I'm gonna be asked about that now.
If you're impressing this situation, things get a little bit different right here. So we're still normal press, being patient, we're moving our feet, we're moving lateral and everything, but now we could be a little bit more aggressive, right? And when we get in position in phase, so let's say he gives you a release, give him a release, outside release, boom. Here, when we get in phase, we really wanna make sure we're keying that near hip, and also we're playing that low hip. Right, so play that low hip, trail a little bit, get in a little trail position right here, because now we're forcing him to our help. The end line, the sideline, he's running out of space right here. So now when we're playing that low hip, we're making it a harder throw for the quarterback to throw it over top in a limited space. Very important. So we're playing that low hip, right, as we're running with him. The receiver's running out of space, so that ball has to be damn near perfect. Receiver's hands or go up for an interception. So if the ball is perfect, the chances of a ball being perfect is very low, right? So we got to make sure that we play that low hip, force that high ball, so we can let the receiver run out of space. As we're running with him, we can squeeze him out closer to our sideline and end line as our help, and then make it an easier job for us as DBs. First thing first, it's important we always understand the split of the receiver, where he lines up at, and know where the ball is at. If the ball is at the near hash, that means this is the hash, we're over there, this is the near hash, right? So now his split is gonna be a little bit different, and it's gonna really tell us what route he's gonna run, right? So if he's at the bottom of the numbers, right here, he doesn't really have enough space to run a fade, right? So most likely our chances are he's gonna run something in, right? So we're gonna line up, heels at the goal line, right? Boom. We're gonna line up heavy inside, because we wanna take our chance that if he runs a fade, he's gonna run out of space. So he has all this space inside. We wanna calculate, okay, most likely it's gonna be an inside route. Let's take away the inside by our alignment. So he's gonna be heavy inside, all right? Reason why is because they're getting closer to the end zone. So we gotta make sure we're very stingy right here. We don't wanna give up too much ground. We wanna be patient. We wanna take away the easy throws, the slant, the ends, all that stuff. So we're going to be very aggressive here and make sure if we can get hands on the receiver, this is very important. We have to get hands on him, all right? So essentially, you kind of want to make it like a catch technique here, right? But you do not want to give your leverage away. So if I'm inside leverage like here, right here, he's inside leverage. We're protecting the inside leverage. We want to make sure everything goes outside. So let's say he's want to run a fade, right? So as we're covering the receiver, we do not want to pedal all the way out because now you're giving him way more options than what he needs, right? We want to limit his options. So we're going to be at 5. We're going to pretty much sit, right? Move laterally. We're playing catch technique. Move laterally, get hands on him. Now if it's zone, it's zone. All right, so if we have inside help, we got inside help. We got to communicate that with our teammates. Hey, I got inside help, alert slant. Even if it's not a slant, before this play starts, let your inside help know. Alert slant, alert in. We got to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So I'm here. If I have inside help, right, I'll line up slightly outside shade, right here, being here. Boom, boom, boom. Alert in, alert in. He runs a slant. Boom, we squeeze it, pass it off, look for something coming towards us. All right. So now, we know he's lined up wide. We're expecting something inside. Most likely it'll be a slant. So let's say he jogs a slant. Let's jog a slant. The DB right here is going to move laterally. Boom. And then meet him at a point. Get hands on, meet him at a point, and force him back in. Right? Now, reset. Come back. So the key right here, we don't want to beat him at a point. We want to meet him at a point. So as we're moving laterally, let's say he's running a slant. Boom. We want to move in laterally, boom, protect your head, leverage, get hands on. We want to focus on the near hip, near shoulder of the receiver, right? So now, stop right there. Now, if there's a ball is thrown, we are in a perfect position, put your hands up, to play the ball through the hands. Or if we can, if it's thrown ahead of him, we could slip it and come right in front of him. The reason why we don't want to beat him at a point, let's say they run a double move or he runs a whip out, right? He whips in, back out, boom, now we're chasing. But if we're right here and he tries to go out, boom, we're right here. We can redirect, right? Those little details right there. Everything is angles is very important here. If we can cut down certain angles by our leverage, to where we break point at the receiver, we can eliminate routes just by our body, right? So we're here, boom, she tries to go back out, boom, we're right here. He goes in, come back. He keeps going in, boom, we're right here. So those little things right there is very important, and that's the difference between a touchdown, PBU, or interception. Now, this is a little trick right here. If you guys feel like this is a lot of space and you get nervous when the receiver attacks you leverage or attacks you and gets to your toes, to really change it up, to surprise them, and this is something you mix it in. You don't do this all the time. But as the cadence is going down, green 8, you can either walk up like this, get closer, or back up. As soon as it says go, he's attacking, boom, you can show up and surprise him right now. So now the receiver, he's thinking he's going to get up to your toes. Next thing you know, you're in front of him. Now he has to get into his route. He got to do his move. And that hesitation right there could be the difference for him getting to the spot that he needs to be to complete the pass. So to mess up the timing a little bit, you could play a little bit, get the okay from your coach though. Don't say Team Eyeland did this and told you could do this. Now make sure your coach is okay with it. You can mix it in, and that will help you in different situations just to mix it up and give the receivers and the offense a different look. So now we're at the goal line, right? Now this is where everything happens like a blink of an eye. So we have to be very patient. We cannot give ground right here. We got to make sure we want the receiver to take us in the end zone. Right? First thing first, we're going to talk about alignment. We don't want to line up in the end zone, right? We don't want to line up in the end zone because this is all the receiver needs for him to box us out for an easy catch. So we want to make sure at most the heels is at the goal line, right? Very important. We want to take away the inside, right? So we're going to line up inside leverage of the receiver, be disciplined, right? This is the time, a lot of time receivers, when they run in routes, they're trying to do all this extra stuff right here. They're trying to get in your toes, trying to do all this extra stuff. We just got to remember, we are taking away the inside. Let him do all that extra stuff. As long as we're playing that inside hip, inside shoulder, we're fine. We're in great position, because if he's doing all this stuff and he plays that inside shoulder, he can get hands on me, boom, force me out here, man turn, and play the ball, right? This is our help. We want to force the receiver to our help, right? But we do not want to get beat inside. If we get beat inside, let me beat you inside real quick. Boom, bam. I got all this space. Here, slant, in, digs. I got so many routes out here. But if I go outside, if you force me outside, I got the fade, right? I got the back shoulder, and I got the fade comeback or an out, right? Similar things, but he has less space to run all that stuff. Compared to inside, he has all this space to run all that routes, that in routes that he wants to run. So we got to be disciplined, protect the inside. We always want to force the fade. All right, so now we're going to talk about when you're in phase with the receiver down here in the goal line. All right, so they're going to draw, boom, run the route. He's moving laterally, good job. Get hands on right here, stop right there. So we get hands on, very important. As we get hands on, we want to look back for the ball, right? He's looking back for the ball, receiver's looking back for the ball, DB's looking back for the ball. We're in good position to look back because we got our hands on the receiver, very important. So as we're running with him, boom, we're forcing him wider, closer to our help, right? Now we're reading the ball. Now the key is we want to look up for the ball, right? Not look back, look up for the ball, because the ball's in the air. It's all timing when it comes to these routes near the goal line. Quarterback's catching it, he's throwing it at a spot. So the receiver's running underneath to go get the ball, right? So we got to make sure that we're hands-on and running with the receiver. The most important thing is why we man turn in this situation is that back shoulder. A lot of teams run back shoulders here. If he runs back and turns his shoulder back, we're still in position to play the ball. But if he, let's say you zone turn here, right? We do not want to zone turn, but if we do, this is the reason why. Now, if you look up for the ball, right? Let's say you don't see it and he runs a back shoulder, boom. We can't defend that, right? Because he's away, his back's turned away. It's too late for him to react. So that's why we want to man turn and then play the ball through the receiver. So this is why we want to locate the ball while we man turn. So we man turn, find the ball, locate the ball, so we got a better chance of playing the back shoulder and better chance of making a play. So now, when the ball is in the air, it's important. We always high point the ball. We're going to play the ball through the receiver. So if the receiver's hands goes up and he's getting ready to jump, we want to high point it, yes, and meet him at a point. If you can't be in position, put your hands up, play through the receiver's hand. And we got to be violent with it, very important. Violent, make sure we fall and make the receiver fall to the ground, and we fall on top of him so it can lower the chance of the receiver completing the pass. Very important. Now look, we did everything. The receiver's right here. This is why it's very important that we make it a harder throw for the quarterback. The quarterback doesn't have that much space to make a good throw here, right? The chances of him completing that pass is very slim to none here. We want to limit the space of the receiver so the quarterback can complete the pass. That's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to drop a like in this video. Share with your cousins, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, grandpas, grandmas. Let everybody know Team Eyeland's where it's at. Make sure you use these tips and tricks in certain situations. Understand the technique, understand the concept and what we're talking about. Really practice and be consistent with it. But also film study. Film study is very important. Watching film is what's going to help you execute your plan, execute your coverage, everything you need to do so you can be in better position to make more plays. That's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.